Yeah. Man, I gained 10 pounds eating the red and the green M&Ms, bro. So quick I'll chop it up today. How you brothers been for the week, man?
Oh, we've been good, man. We've been good.
Yeah.
We can't ignore the ratings. I mean, this light skin thing is working for me and Derik.
I heard it's on market. Where do we start?
Yo, what's up? Welcome back to Let's Chop It Up. Files on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Like and subscribe. Tell a friend about four brothers on this YouTube channel. Ring the bell and make comments, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and we will get back to you. My brothers from another mother, it's been 7 days since we chopped it up, man. I miss you guys, man. Talk to me, Derik. How you been, my man?
My man, I've been good. I haven't really thought about what's been going on for the last 7 days, man. It's just been a blur, man. I got a good life, brother. You know, I don't really have no complaints. My kids are doing well. My family's doing well. The weather's getting warm. I'm really, really looking forward to this weekend where I can get it in. You know what I mean? It's Father's Day weekend. I love to grill. I love to hang out with family. I love to hang out with friends. And I'm really, really looking forward to everything. So, you know, for the most part, man, just keeping it as usual, just kind of keeping it close to home and whatnot. And just enjoying life, man, you know. You know, I spoke to my son. He's doing fantastic. My oldest son, you know, he's got his promotion. He's doing well. He's a supervisor now in the Navy. You know,
Where's he stationed at? Where's he stationed at?
He's stationed in Norfolk, Virginia.
Or still in the country. He's still in the country. That's all.
Yeah, he's still in the country. He got shore leave. I mean, he got shore duty for the first 3 years. He said his last year he may wind up on a boat. You know, but he's doing well, man. You know, he's getting his accolades, he's getting his shine, he's getting his notice. And I'm very, very proud of him. He called me up on asking a little fatherly advice on a few things. Now, the funny thing is when he left, he didn't have his driver's license because of COVID, right? So now he's looking to get a car, he's looking to get his driver's license and everything, and get himself loose, you know. So he's becoming a man, and it's a beautiful thing to see, man. You know,
yes,
so
sir.
you know, I love my kids.
What up, Shauna?
Hey, Shauna, how you doing? You know, and hey, Dina, what's happening?
Dina, what up, sis?
Yeah. So hey, Monique, what's going on? All right,
hey, baby.
Yeah. So you know, that's about it, man. You know, I'm just looking forward to a little time this weekend, and I've been just cooling, man. What's up with you, Rod? What's going on, brother?
Everything's good. You know, I was listening to your list when you was running it down, all the great things that's going on with you. You left out being light skinned too.
Exactly. It's you know. Shout out to Slap. You know, the subcommittee of badass privilege.
Yeah. But other than that, I'm glad to hear that you're doing good, Derik, and everything's good at home, and your son's doing well. But I'm still in the house. I don't move around too much, but I did go out to dinner. Me and my wife went out to dinner with a couple other couples, and that was cool. You know what I mean? But other than that, everything is cool. I am working with my daughter. My daughter's showing me a lot of stuff as far as working on my social media page. So she said, you need to do some more stuff on your page, Dad. Get it a little bit more up to date and get it more live, you know. So I said, okay, look like you just asked for a job, so you got it, you know. So I gotta teach them don't open their mouth too much.
Now, hold on, Rod, you got 3 daughters. I mean, you know, how many daughters? You got a lot of daughters. Let's see, you got 4 daughters. How many? Which daughter is this?
This is my Selena.
Selena, okay.
Yeah.
She's at that age. She's at that age where that social media stuff.
But yeah, I have 4 girls. I have 4 girls and 2 boys. But yeah, she was showing me some stuff or whatever. So anybody interested in following me on Instagram or Facebook, feel free. It's right there. It's right there. But other than that, everything is good. You know, I've just been, you know, watching TV. You know, I watched the last finals game. I thought that was pretty good to the end. But there is absolutely nothing to report. I am still hiding from inflation. Still hiding from it.
Well, we find a hiding spot. Let me know.
No, I got a bunker in my house. It's called an inflation bunker.
Hey, inflation don't call this cousin recession.
Recession, but that's not coming till next year. So we got a little time. We got a little time.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
Don't forget about their distant relative repossession.
Yeah.
Right after that.
Yeah, we're gonna get real acquainted with repossession. I tell you, some of us.
Yeah. Time's about to get tough for a lot of people, unfortunately. And I hope that people are preparing properly for it.
Yeah.
But it is coming. Something's coming.
Yeah.
But Kelvin, how was your week?
Pretty good. First of all, I got down with Navy Federal Credit. I don't know why people waited so long to let me know how ill it was. I'm sure you in there, Derik. I can only imagine.
Yo, man, I gotta get down. I'm slow motion.
I got it. I got it.
Yeah, I
had it for a while.
They the truth. Yeah. I'm telling you, they made me go and slap somebody at the bank. I'm telling you. But yeah, I'm just trying to make some moves, man. First of all, I want to say a special dedication to those who stole a Brothers Red Bull machine, because I did get paid out for it and bought a better, up-to-date, native-proof vending machine. So I started with that. So that's a good look. I'm glad my insurance company did the right thing. So I'm glad of that. So I felt good about that. Other than that, man, I've been doing well. I'm trying to get into trying to eat right for the summer, get ready. I got a family reunion coming up. So I'm trying to get myself together at a pace. I want to get back on the handball court and do a couple of things with fitness, man. But I'm so appreciative of each day, every day, like Rodney alluded to, man, thinking about how difficult it is out here, especially for people. So I'm just thankful, man. I'm very appreciative. I don't take anything for granted. And like Rodney said, hope people prepared. I just realized all the bad spending habits and dumb stuff is way behind me. I can't front. So during the pandemic, I worked and I saved. And stuff like that, trying to make good decisions. And my man Rod has been giving my niece and my team and I some great financial advice about investing and things like that, man. So I'm ready for that rainy day, and I can't front. I hear the rumbles of them clouds outside right now. So, I'm getting ready. So shout out to Rod and to always the Let's Chop It Up crew. Man, it seems like when we're not around each other, so much happens. So I can't wait to chop it up tonight. Now to the point guard, the orchestrator, Devastator, the man, the myth, the legend, my man D. Talk to us, brother.
This motherfucker
wait.
Frazier. He was a Clyde Frazier school.
Yeah. I was expecting him to say serendipity. That's what I thought he was going to say. Remember, Clyde Frazier used to say that word all the time. Like, serendipity.
Willing and dealing.
Yeah.
Anybody we see Kelvin play handball, go to the Black and Latino Instagram page, and you see Kelvin. It shows that he has no left hand. But he is playing handball. He's doing the very best. On the page.
Thank you, brother. I'm trying.
Yeah. What you call it? Man, my week was pretty cool, man. My week was all right, man. I had a great weekend. Had family come in town. Got to see MJ. MJ is dope. People go check it out if you can before the tickets get too crazy. Well, I think they're gonna keep the tickets as is. I don't know, because the inflation thing going on. But that was dope. Then I had one thing with black folks, man. Why do y'all show up late to shit? Why? Why can't we just get ready? Like I saw a motherfucker walk in 45 minutes late into the show. Michael's all grown up now. Like damn, man. Like, so I don't know natives, man.
You asking a rhetorical question. You know exactly why, D. You know why.
Just don't show up. Just don't show up. Just give the ticket away, man. And then once one group of family left, on Sunday, my nephew and his family show. I'm like, God damn, that's your motherfuckers gotta go home. That's a place to live. So then they came, but it was I love it. It was fun. It was like a rotation of having people in the house. I love it. It was great. But one thing I got since I lost so much weight, I got a sponsor. Flat Tummy Tea. I'm about to sponsor it. Just like the rest of these all going Instagram chicks up here lying about they got this flat tummy tea and these new boobs because of the flat tummy tea. I got some new boobs too, and I got a flat tummy.
Whoa.
But my week was good.
Yo, D, I'll tell you. Look at Rodney's face, man. We didn't see that coming, D.
Yeah. Are you promoting male titties?
Male titties, baby. Only thing,
wow.
We got no milk.
With no milk in them.
No milk.
Oh my.
Milk is life. We got soy milk.
Okay, he got it. He got it early. He got it early. He got it early.
Oh man, that's a new record. Wait, 10 minutes in.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
wow.
I gotta feel that. Now,
yo, you know what? We might need to have like a replay to see if it was deserved. We might have to be able to go back to the videotape, like sports does.
That's true.
Yeah, and be able to see if it was deserved or not.
But wait a minute, Rodney. To be fair, it's like a game, though. You got to see how the ref is calling it tonight. That means they obviously calling it really close tonight.
Yeah, he's calling it tonight.
He's calling it close tonight. Yeah,
he's establishing his power early.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
What he's doing.
That's all. You got to adjust. You got to adjust.
Okay.
That's what it is. But anyhow. But now it's a good week, man. Got my birthday coming up, man. Got Juneteenth on the same day, and it's Father's Day. One of the best days I love, and I hope that we can get to celebrate it right. But there's a lot of people out here chopping up bad about us fathers today, man. I don't like that stuff. You know, do you guys think there's a lot of women out here that's single mothers, right? And they wishing each other happy Father's Day. I don't think this shit is right. I just want to hear what you guys have to say about it. Before I chime in, anybody want to take it first, man? Yeah, I saw that all day on social media. I say it so far on Satellite Radio. Talk to me, guys.
Yeah, man. You know what? I'm gonna just throw something out there right quick, man. I think it's a lot of the times that's commentary on whatever they got going on in their own lives, man.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they're taking a shot at the guy who's not around or the failed relationship or whatever have you. And that's what it is, man. Hey, what's happening, Davey? What's good, brother? Augustus. All right.
Oh, what up?
Yo, thanks for checking in.
What up,
All
Gus?
right. All right.
Man.
Okay, cool, man. Yeah, so I think a lot of that is just people, listen, relationships can be painful. And you go into a situation, man, and you think that that's going to be it for maybe forever, or at least until the child gets older, or you think the child's going to bring you together, and sometimes it just doesn't happen that way. Very seldom happens that way. So they take a shot at the guy who's not around, or the broken the broken expectation. And that's what we're left to deal with that, man. But you're right, but it's wrong. You know what I mean? It's just, as a man, it's like as a father, I got my day. Give me my day. I don't step on the Mother's Day. You know what I mean? So, I have mine. So, It is what it is, man.
I agree with Derik. I think that it does come from a place a little bit of bitterness for maybe who they had this child with, and maybe it's like to try to take a jab at them because maybe they're not fulfilling their obligations as fathers. I had a conversation with a good friend of mine, maybe I think it was the day before yesterday, and he brought up a pretty good point. His name happened to be Kelvin.
True.
And and Kelvin brought up a great point. Kelvin says that when you pick a man, right, this man didn't just show you later on that he was not worthy of being the father of your child. He showed you that early and you ignored it. So the thing is, there should be some accountability for you to take that by who you chose to have a child with. But Derik's right. I don't feel that we step on Mother's Day. Mother's Day is one of the most solidified days on the calendar. It's one of the most popular days as far as dining in restaurants. Everybody recognizes their mother. And the thing is, I'm sure those single mothers didn't say anything about single fathers getting to get praise for Mother's Day, which there are a lot of single fathers out there.
There are.
Correct. I used to be one. So the thing is, I don't remember getting any cards on Mother's Day, and nor did I want any,
Exactly.
But the thing is, I think too, it's just mostly a jab at men that they have an issue with from a past relationship. That's where I think it comes from.
Shona says I can BS on that. Someone wished me a happy Father's Day once, and I responded that I was no one's father. Yeah, that's
Correct.
what I would. Yeah,
Correct.
I mean,
she's not capable. She's right. She's not capable of being anybody's father. She's somebody's mother.
Why would she want to be? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you're a woman. Why would you want to be?
See, well, you know what? I think in our community, there's not really as much of a paternal reference point. And so what I think people are trying to say in essence is when a woman is doing the work of the father, she feels entitled to that. And I think, I agree with you all. A woman cannot be a father. That's just the bottom line. And so I think Father's Day in our community, a lot of times Mother's Day is a credit and Father's Day is a debit. It just seems like the day when there's a void. Like for instance, you have to be early to get a Mother's Day card. You can roll up anytime to get a Father's Day card. There's plenty, because it's not that people in our community don't want to buy them. They don't have anybody to buy them for. So I think it has to be some culpability. In other words, you blame the little boy. You just like your father. You chose his father.
Yeah.
Something about you make, you know what I mean? Now, not every case, but there are a lot of cases where people knew that a guy was not father material, that a guy was not either willing or capable or able or unselfish enough to be a father. I heard a sitcom quote one time. The guy said on a sitcom, he said 90% of being a father is showing up.
That's right.
He said 90% of being a father is showing up. There's something about little boys, they run fast at their father sitting in them stands. There's something about you. It's just something about seeing your dad there. There's something about it. Children respond differently to the bass in their father's voice. There's a calming thing. There's a protective thing with fathers. And I thank God because I had a great father. I could not have asked for a better father. And I feel for anybody that doesn't have it. But the bottom line is, if you don't have a father, there can be some men that may step into the role, but a mother just can't be a father no matter how much work she does, even if she's doing the work of two parents. And I salute every mother that is taking on the charge of saying, I'm going to raise this child to the best of my ability, even in the absence of their father. So we do celebrate you twice on Mother's Day, but not on Father's Day.
Sean says sometimes we're young and dumb and makes the stupid decisions. A story of my life and a couple other people's too.
Yeah, we all been there. We all been there.
Somebody said the best, that every car got a reverse and every pencil got an eraser for that reason. That's what I used to hear somebody say.
Right. Marsha, would be nice if some men self-police about whether they are ready to be fathers. Would be nice if some women self-police.
Correct. It's not. In some cases, it's not the man choosing to be the father.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, out of that transaction, people got to figure out what they want. And a lot of times we know what the man wants. And now what comes from that, that's what people need to, really be careful about, because the guy can tell you all day what he wants, no matter how much he can package it and present it, but from that, everybody don't want the repercussions or the responsibility from that. And that's the difficult part, And I know a lot of dudes. I know a lot of foul dudes too. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I don't get from dudes. If you do have a child, I don't know how you walk away. Like, I don't know how you don't want, like even if you deal with the drama from the mother, if it's your child, like if I had a child walking this planet somewhere, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be somewhere. Like if I got to go through, jumping through hoops or something, because that's your child. I mean, there's nothing like your child.
Kelvin. I'm not sure. What do men want, Kelvin? What do men want, Kelvin? I think that's what he's asking.
Oh no! In other words, Damien is just being Damien. Damien always trying to get fly. You know what they want?
Okay, I got it.
They want a hip hop list that don't have the same person saying Lupe Fiasco is third on the list, Damien. That's exactly what they want. Damien, you're never gonna live that down. And yes, the framework.
That's funny.
Nah, that's my man right there. That's my man.
Yeah, that's hilarious. But I agree with you all, man. I can't even top what you guys just said. You guys are nailed it on the head. It was just like it was going on for 2 hours on one channel today, on the Heather B channel on 126. Urban View,
But you know what's lost in it, D? What's lost in it? Again, what's lost. What's lost in it is the sad part is we still don't get a chance to salute the good fathers.
No.
We still don't. It's a day. I work in ministry for 30 years. Father's Day is a day of grieving. It is a day of curiosity. It's a day of doubt. It's a day of people wondering what it would have been like to have a father. I mean, we have to understand it's collateral damage. Little girls, there's a void in little girls when their father's not there. They almost are starting life really kind of in an unfair disadvantage, because there should be a man to either protect them or be able to advise them against the things that they can run into with men. And the same thing with little boys. I want to say this, and I mean this sincerely. I believe if you had fathers in place, across the board, I don't think you'd have a gang problem. I don't think you'd have Bloods and Crips and all that stuff running around. You got little boys that have tried to find the sense of family somewhere, and they did not have a man to affirm them in a lot of cases. I really believe that. I think that is one of the biggest problems and the issues. I watched in the 90s, boys walk around calling each other son. Yeah. And the reality of it is that there's something different if you have a father. There's something. I remember my father always kind of let you could tell your father, no matter what, could whoop your behind. Your father could snatch you up if he needed to. And there was something about the presence of your dad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look, real quick, so I'm glad you said that about the fathers in the gangs, because it was showing that if you watch like Discovery Channel, it was showing like how the gangs, like when his first gangs were white people. Let's get it straight, Chicago and all that. But when the war happened, a lot of fathers were sent off to war, right? So now the mothers had to take on some of these jobs, and so now there was empty nest of kids, and so that's when you started having all these white gangs and all this stuff forming up because they was out here. And remember, they didn't let us into the war, so black people just stayed home together. They didn't let us fight. Remember, like so it was showing that dynamic. It was so deep that you say that because it was hey Rodney, oh look, a little shout out from Mrs. Mitchell. So,
love you, Ma.
Yeah, Gus, we ain't having no reunion around the way. Yes, Charlotte here, man. So
D, I think you make an excellent point, and I'm gonna say this from having been like a youth minister growing up and stuff like that. That age between 13 and 17 is the hardest between boys and their mothers. He is now getting some little hair on his lip. He is now getting tall as her or taller than her. And that boy is now starting to, the older folks said he's starting to smell himself. And now when that boy get to that age, that 13 to 17 is where a lot of times fathers got to put their foot in your behind because you think you're a man and you try to get fly. That 13 and 17 is when the father got to humble you.
Correct. And the thing is, women ain't strong enough to do that. Not physically.
That's
you
right.
Know what I mean, because you got to realize when there's a lion in the house, the young lion is eventually going to challenge the older lion.
Right. That's right.
So then the older lion has to set his tone, and he's got to set it early so that younger lion will never try it again.
That's right. I used to try to get fly with my father jokingly. He's like, all right, remember Marvin Gaye?
That's right. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, but I also think too, we did have a rash of teenage pregnancy in the 80s as well. Yeah. And I think that created a lot of unwedded mothers and unfathered children as far as fathers being around. So I think the 80s played that. And then we got to a point where it was very normal and very comfortable for people to be having children unwed and not in relationships with fathers. So we also went through a campaign where women were saying, hey, I don't need no man, so there's a lot of factors here. What happened?
Oh, damn. David,
he's trying to get D. I'm talking about
he really trying to get bro. Come on, what about the
and he know the game is being officiated tight tonight.
Yeah, man.
Read out loud. Here,
he said, Damon, what about the women who are now men? Can they be fathers, daddies, or only zaddies?
Well, they balls don't drop, right? So I guess it could be I'm a daddy. A mother and a daddy. I'm a daddy. That's a new term. I'm
gonna be honest with you. No, straight up. If you did do that, you're not getting Mother's Day and Father's Day gifts. You gonna make a decision. You change sides. That's it. You getting a robe and a tie like everybody else. That's it.
Watch. They're gonna come with a holiday. They're gonna call my daddy. And what's the gonna do? It's gonna be in July. Because we got Mother's Day, Father's Day. They're gonna have a Daddy Day. I'm telling you.
You might got a point right there, brother. You might have a point.
They're gonna want a day. They're gonna get a day. It's gonna come in July. It's gonna be my daddy.
Yeah, you know what? That makes sense. Madea, my daddy. Oh, now. I see it's all coming together.
all coming together. Coordinating all of it together.
I'm trying so hard not to let the devil use me.
Rodney, you're gonna get a scroll too. You might as well go get it, Rodney. It's on the way.
Keep it tapped down.
Use them.
You did nut, D.
Yo, D is like use them.
Word up. Come on, join the band. I got the early foul.
You that friend that coached me into going to jail. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Kill him. Go ahead, kill him.
Try it. It's all right. Try it.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, try this.
We all did together.
You're gonna be like
man.
Yo, let me see. Jamie, real quick. Go to watch it. Yeah, let's do Watch It, Chop It, man. I know some people had some comments on there about what's the show? Yeah, The Hustle. All right, yeah. The Hustle. I didn't see this yet on Netflix, but I saw people making comments about The Hustle Anybody see it? What did they think?
I saw it.
What did the audience think too? I want to know what they.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you something like that. I saw it, and I loved it. I loved it. Now I'll be honest with you, and this is gonna sound foul. Wasn't really sure about Latifah being the love interest. Was a little surprised by that. I'll leave that there. And then I do think it was really good if you like basketball, if you like seeing kind of a rags to riches story. I thought it was good. I thought it was well acted. I thought they mixed in nice NBA talent, nice NBA scouts, great players, and collegiate athletes as well. So I thought it was good. Oh, there you go, my friend.
It seems like it got a lot of positive reviews from the viewers.
I think it was his highest rated movie he's had on Rotten Tomatoes, 94%.
Wow. Adam Sandler?
Yeah, they said that. Yep.
I'm trying. I don't know. I'm tired of Great White Hope movies. I know it's produced. Y'all told me about LeBron, but I think I can't do it, bro. I'm just not. I think even if it's produced by, I think white supremacy is still playing the hell. So we gotta have a black superstar basketball player to save, and then a white savior at the end of the day. I can't do it.
Who's the superstar in it? Who's the superstar in it?
He's the Spanish dude. I forgot his name. He's not a star in the league. And I get D's point to an extent, but I think actually if you take a black dude, I don't know that it works. The league is all black. I don't know that it works. It'd be like trying to really help out a white golfer and see what happens. I mean, it just doesn't ring as true. If there's anybody out there that could try to convince D to watch it, put it in the chat because D is not moving.
Man, I'm gonna watch it because I saw the Queen Latifah was in it, so I'm gonna watch it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hernan Gomez. Was that the guy's name?
That's probably the guy that was the star, right?
Yeah. And it works though. It works.
Okay.
And you gotta admit, some of these dudes are nice. Like
Queen Latifah was his love interest?
No, was Adam Sandler's wife.
Oh, his wife. Okay.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say y'all fucking me up now. I'm like, this ain't no way I'm watching this.
See, you know what? The enemy was trying to use me, and he about to jump right over the screen.
I'm just saying because she's 50-something years old. That dude's probably like 22. I'm like,
no, it wasn't like that. Yeah.
I'm about to say.
Wait. Latifah played Adam Sandler's wife in the show.
Right. Which you got to give her Academy Award credit for that right there in itself.
Okay.
She got what's the one she took her shirt off and she was nude in?
Okay, I don't want to see that one.
Yo, is there one like that?
Yeah, I watched it. It was
I don't know. I said I didn't want to see it. I meant I didn't want to hear about that one.
Queen Latifah didn't show her body in no show.
Shauna, the FBI feds find it out. I'm guaranteed Shauna will find that shit.
Well,
you're telling us Queen Latifah got a nude scene, D?
Is that what you're saying? Is you saying she got a nude scene?
She pulled them things out. I saw it. It was like it was like playing like the 20s or the 50s or something like that. She was playing a role. I can't think of it. I can see it in a role.
That was a horror film, D. You talking about?
Nah, I'm gonna lean towards Queen Latifah wouldn't do that.
No. I bet every one of y'all. Let's bet $1, at least $1 each. Come on, y'all.
All right, I'm gonna go with $1. I'll lose $1.
I'm throwing $1 in there too.
Jamie and Shauna, they're the feds. Come on, find it for me. Give me the title before we go to the.
No, I want Jamie to find it.
The same Latifah that was in Set It Off?
Yes, man. Them big things came out, man. I saw them things, man.
No, man. I don't believe that.
I'm a titty connoisseur. I saw him.
Did she had a?
Well, you might be because you keep saying you're trying to get
Derik say he getting a scroll. I can tell.
I ain't saying nothing. I started to say something. I ain't saying nothing.
I saw a scroll in his eyes.
Yeah, we still waiting. We still waiting. I don't think Queen Latifah did no nude scene.
Oh man.
Who would want to see that? Who would want to see that?
See, now you pull a Rodney in it too.
Don't get me wrong. I like Queen Latifah. I'm actually a Queen Latifah fan.
What I'm trying to say, Shauna, please find the title of that movie. I can't think of it.
Wow.
It was like I can't think of the name of that movie for nothing, man.
Wow.
I hope it was Ray.
And thank you, Nikisha. Thank you. That's it. Thank you, Nikisha.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wait, let's get this straight. Queen Latifah exposed her breasts in a movie.
Thank you. See, which movie was this movie when Sophie you talking about the Hustler or Bessie when she pulled the things out?
So, Sophia, I think Rodney needs to scroll just for what he thinking. First of
Bessie,
all,
Bessie.
I'm
No, you
telling
can't
you,
give me
man.
one to think.
Audience
No,
be knowing, audience be knowing,
I
man.
can't believe that. Like I said, I like Queen Latifah. I'm a fan, and I think Queen Latifah is mad.
Damien's fucked up. Damien's going
David
to
said you tried to destroy my search history.
Damien's going to get the scroll.
Google new Latifah.
Yo, give Damien the scroll. Give Damien the scroll. Again, right. Again, right.
Okay, Sophia. All right. Y'all trying to convince me. If the lady said I might have to do it, man. I might watch 2 minutes of it.
Yes,
oh,
man. My eyes started praying.
Wow. I mean, like I said, I like Queen Latifah, but I wouldn't want to see that.
Yeah, I have to say that's not. You know what? I don't have anything. You know what?
Allegedly, lesbian titties are good too.
You know what? What do they do in court? Where they say, "When you close the case?"
I knew it. Lean back. I knew it.
He just waited. Rodney just sat back and just.
Because I know I could tell when it's coming.
All right, gentlemen, we're in the skid. How do we get out of this? Because the car is skidding. How do we turn out of this?
You got to wait for it to hit something. That's all you can do.
D, you the point guard. Bring us out.
You got to mix. Some people are saying no. Some people are saying yes.
What? About what? I'm telling you, it's Bessie. Bro, when y'all get a chance, just Google it. It's Bessie.
No, the thing is, if you're right, if you're right.
Oh, Damien is on a roll tonight.
Damien's got that drink.
Damien. Yes, Latifah.
Yo.
Please, Latifah. Shona says, yes, Rod, she did Bessie. Was gay, so it was all good.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
You know what? I always thought this, though. Latifah should play Pearl Bailey. She looks just like
her. Should have.
Nah.
She looks just like Pearl Bailey. Identical.
Yeah, they're like Pearl Bailey.
Identical.
Yeah, that's Pearl Bailey right there, man.
Yeah, look, when you get a chance, Google it. But whatever she plays, keep your clothes on. You know why? Because you don't have to take your clothes off.
Yo, man, I know we have some fun and joking around. We have serious and we have fun. So, but I want to bring up, we got a special guest tonight. This brother right here, man, is teaching black kids how to fly. So before we bring him on, Jamie, can you play the video with his brother's school?
Hey, Simeon, first flight with aviation for us. How you feeling?
I'm excited.
Ready to go?
Oh, yeah.
Good morning, Republic Ground. Piper Warrior 801 Alpha Papa at the Alpha ramp, requesting permission to taxi to the active runway with information Alpha, southeast departure.
Clear for takeoff, 1 Alpha Papa.
Station Air 924, Piper's on the roll. You're clear to land, runway 32. Wind 33014, gust 21.
Speed is alive. 60. Slowly pull up. Right about there.
100.
100. Just let it slowly come down.
Touchdown.
Now you just landed. How you feeling?
Nerve-wracking. It was scary, but it was fun. I enjoyed myself.
Without further ado, can I bring our brother Winston Faison to the show tonight? Yes, sir.
What's up, brothers?
What's up, Winston? How are you, brother? How's everything?
Everything's wonderful.
Thanks
for having me.
No, thanks for coming on.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So what first, before we talk about your school and what you do with the young brothers and sisters, what made you first get into aviation, brother?
Yo, listen, I grew up in East New York, Brooklyn. I always wanted to be in aviation, but financially, it's not accessible to people like us who can't afford it. Aviation can be expensive, so it wasn't until I became an adult that I had the opportunity to take my first flight, and I fell in love with it. So first I was just flying for the fun of it, but as I fly out of Long Island and Republic Airport, as I was flying, I started looking around the airport and I don't see anybody that looked like us, right? So I said, after I got my private pilot certificate, I said, let me go a little bit further and get my commercial, my instrument rating, and become an FAA certified flight instructor. That way I can go back to my community and teach some young men and women how to fly. And that's what I did.
Winston, I want to ask you, and first of all, I really admire what you do. I, at one time in my life, was a driving instructor until they told me I had to take the students on the parkway. And that ended that career right there. So I want to know, how is it, because I'm sure you deal with a certain amount of fears and anxiety, sometimes people trying to overcome something that they love. What is the process when it comes to teaching somebody? What are some of the barriers that you have to break down? Because I mean, you're playing with high stakes if somebody's going in the air. So how is that to actually have the fortitude to do that?
So firstly, it's harder to teach somebody to drive a car than fly a plane, right? I've been in planes with people, and after they land, I get in the car with them. I'm like, yo, pull over, I'm driving. The planes, when you fly in the air, there's not a lot of planes around you. It's not like a car where you make one sudden move, you might go into another lane. There's a lot of space around you. So, and just like when you were doing driver's training, there's two controls, right? There's a yoke, I have a yoke. So everything he does, I can do, vice versa. So if need be, I can take over the controls.
Gotcha.
You know, and I think the hardest part of learning how to fly is getting over that fear, right? Of flying. That's why when I teach the young guys, it's much easier than older guys. Young people, they pick up quick. The older you are, the harder it is for me to teach you, because first you got to get over that fear. And that fear has been built in you since you was a kid, watching all those crazy movies. But once you get over that fear, anybody can fly. If you can drive a car, you can fly a plane.
Good. Winston, I want you to explain to the audience your background. I want everybody to know what you do other than flying.
All right, so I work for the New York City Police Department. I started in 2000. I got 21 years on, be 22 in September. I rose through the ranks. I'm in the rank of inspector. So that's after captain, deputy inspector, then inspector. After that is chief. Right now, I was the commanding officer of the 61st Precinct. I was the commanding officer of the 81st Precinct of Bedford-Stuyvesant. And currently I'm the commanding officer of the Youth Strategies Division and Community Affairs, which I oversee all the youth program in New York City Police Department citywide.
When you say he got his own money, I mean he got his own money.
Get that man a hand, yeah. Get that man a hand.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Get that man a hand.
And his brother from the hood, he's from the East, and once I have a community center in the East, and I do a lot of work with you guys, with the police department, do the SNL and all that stuff like Saturday Night Lights, basketball and all that stuff like that. So, gotta tip my hat to you, brother. Gotta tip my hat to you.
Yeah, I wanted to just show the audience how there's a lot of solid brothers on the NYPD, and that everybody else doesn't have that negative image. There's a lot of positivity also coming from the police department.
Winston, I just have to ask another question. I've seen a lot of times, especially people with means and celebrities. I think we saw it with JFK's son. I remember Corey Lytle crashed a plane into a building in Manhattan. A lot of people, are they not taking it serious enough what you have to do to respect this vocation? It seems like a lot of people with means, seems like it becomes a hobby to them. And I don't know necessarily if people are actually putting in the work it takes to become a great pilot, or is that a fair assumption?
I don't think so, because before you get your pilot certificate, you have to do a lot of training, like mandatory amount of flying hours. You got to sit down with an examiner from the FAA to make sure you know how to fly. A lot of times when it comes to flying, the respect level is important. I used to ride bikes, and we always say, yo, respect the bike, right? The same thing with the plane. And you have to be ahead of the plane. So you have to know where you're going before you get there, you know? So before I take off, I know the airport I'm taking off. I know the length of the runways. I know the weather. I know the weather from my takeoff, my departure to when I'm landing. What's the weather going to be like when I'm landing? I know where the winds are coming from. So there's a lot of variables before you take off. You got to pre-plan. So once you fall behind the plane, and you're rushing to do things before you get to your destination, that's when you get a lot of problems. And I think a lot of times, some people might get a little lax because they did it so much and they believe it's a routine flight, and then something else happened, like you go into a cloud, right? And you have to be specially trained to fly into clouds. And if you're not trained and you're not well versed on how to read the instruments, you can literally be going straight down and not know, because there's no visual cues telling you which way is up and down. And once it's liquid in your air that tells your balance. And once you tilt to a certain way for a certain amount of time, no matter which angle or tilt you're in, it's going to feel like level. And if you're in the clouds and you're not trained and you don't know how to read the instruments, you can go right into the water and not knowing you even descending.
Wow.
It's a lot to it.
So Winston, you mentioned you just mentioned something. What are some of the physical things that may keep or preclude a person from learning how to fly? You know, I know obviously we were talking about, you know, it's harder to teach older people, but what are some of the things, either physical or mental, that might stop a person from learning how?
So physically, you know, before you get your private pilot certificate, you got to get a medical, right? You got to get an FAA medical examiner to come and make sure you're capable of flying, you know? And a lot of times, most people stop flying because they lose their medical certificate, right? That's when they stop. For us, our blood pressure, right? Your blood pressure goes beyond a certain, you might lose your license for that. But what precludes people from flying? Financially, right? Financially, it can preclude you, and just getting over the fear. So once you take your first flight, you're gonna know it's comfortable. It's not like a roller coaster. Everything is pretty smooth. And once you understand how the plane works, how the plane fly, how it develops lifts, what everything does on the plane, it's gonna make you feel a whole lot more comfortable.
So when you talk about financial, how much would it like for someone to get started? Not just their classes, like somebody wanted to get started, like say I want to get into flying, like what's the cost of the classes? What's how much it costs to get a plane and fuel and all that kind of stuff?
So put it like this: in order to get your private pilot certificate, and that's only for you to fly general aviation with your friends, you want to hang out, fly to Philly, get a cheesesteak, things like that. You need a minimum of 40 hours of flight time with a CFI. Minimum. Most people do it like in 60 hours. If you want to rent a plane, a cheap plane is going to cost you about $160 an hour, right? And then you're going to pay that certified flight instructor who's sitting next to you minimum $60 an hour. But let's make it easy.
You said 60?
Yeah, let's make it easy. $150 for the plane, $50 for the CFI, right? $200 an hour. Multiply that by a minimum of 40. That's $8,000, but you're going to do it, like I said, not 40, 60. And now you just have enough just for your private pilot certificate. Now you want to go beyond that. You want to get your instrument rating, right? Because you never know, you might end up in the clouds, or you don't want to get stuck at an airport. You know, you take your loved one or your wife or your girl to Martha's Vineyard, and then you get back to the plane and clouds are low, now you're stuck there. So, you know, you want to be prepared for that. So in order to get your instrument certificate, you're going to need another at least 50 hours of instrument flight training. And then after that, you got to get your commercial. To get your commercial certificate, you need a minimum of 350 hours. Wow. Start multiplying that. And then once you get your commercial, then if you want to train people, you got to get your CFI. And that's going to take another 20, 30 hours. And then if you want to go into the airlines, they want you to have 1,200 hours.
Wow.
So you're multiplying all that money.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
Now, Winston, we understand that I understand there's a projection that they're going to need pilots. Airlines are really saying that in the future, they're going to be short. I guess maybe some of the old guard is retiring or something. As far as the Black community is concerned, is there an awareness by your students or the community at large to say maybe this is a great opportunity to come into this? I'm sure there's a lot of money to be made, especially in aviation over the next, probably 5 to 10 years. Is that a major concern, or are you starting to see an influx of people that want to learn because of that?
Well, like you said, the airline industry, like short with pilots, and you talk about African-American pilots, we make up about 2%, if that. So yeah, it's a big open, it's like a gap, and the airlines is noticing that. So they got a lot of programs now that take you from A to Z. if you're interested, but with my program, anybody I speak to about the program, they're interested in it. I think what stops a lot of kids from flying is, and I said this earlier, I had a meeting earlier, sometimes the parents, we as parents, sometimes we transfer our fears to our kids.
Yeah.
Just like swimming.
Yeah.
Just like swimming, yep. And sometimes that's
and sports too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, hey, Winston, what's the youngest student you ever taught to fly?
So 12.
12.
So there is no limit to learn how to fly. You can learn how to fly at 8. You can start training at 8. You have to be at 16 years old, you can solo. So you can fly alone at 16. At 17, you get your certificate. At 17 years old, you get your private pilot certificate and have your general aviation certificate and ready to fly. So right now, my classes, I do 14 through 19 now. I used to do 12. I moved it up to 14 through 19. And I started in 2019. Some of my first students are now in a 30 hour, and they are taking off and landing on their own. I'm just waiting for them to become 16 to solo and 17 to get their private pilot certificate.
Wow. So let me ask you. So I'm sorry, Rodney, you about to say something?
No, go ahead, D. Go ahead.
No. So like if a parent came into you, like how much would it cost the parent, like the cost and stuff like that? Because I know people, when you said those other numbers, people are like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this. That might deter some of our people from trying to learn how to fly.
I lost you. You broke up for a second. Say it again.
I'm sorry. So how much it would cost, like if a parent wanted to come in and teach a kid how to fly? Like how much would it cost to go to the school? Like, because right now you do some high numbers earlier, but how much would it cost for your program and stuff like that? Was it grants or scholarships, anything like that?
So let me tell you about my program. My program is not going to take you A to Z. So my program is a 9-week program. I take 20 kids every season. They do a 9-week program, learn the basics of aviation, and each kid get one opportunity to fly a plane. So we do the 9 weeks between the 8th and the 9th week. We all go to the airport. I take 20 of them, and I get 5 planes, and we do like a early and the evening one, and they all get the opportunity just to fly. If they want to move forward further with private lessons, that's something different. My goal is to touch as many kids as possible and just expose them to aviation. So right now we're doing 80 a year. We're going to move it to Queens and the Bronx probably in September and just expand on it. And it's not just about aviation. It's a confidence builder, right? You got kids 16 years old flying planes. After they land, the confidence level is at 10. So now when they encounter any other obstacle in the future, they know they conquered flying a plane. It means a lot to them, to the parents. It's just something that even if they don't go forward and become a pilot, they can at least say, I did that.
Mm-hmm. So if I wanted to get into like sponsoring the kids, how like with my organization and teaming up with you, how can I go about doing that? What's the
So you can go on my website, Aviation, the number 4 us, and you can sponsor there. It gives you all the information on how to sponsor. You can mail in a check. We got everything on the website, Aviation for Us, and you can sponsor a child. Now the sponsor a child is $215. So that's how much it costs for me to take a kid flying for that 1 hour. So when it comes to the class, the 9-week session, it's me and another young lady that worked with me. We do that on our own time and just because we love to do it. So that's free.
Wow.
That's what's up, bro.
We have is the actual flying a plane. Because when I come with 20 kids, I can't take 20 in my one plane. So that's why we get 5 planes and we take 10 up at a time. And, we'll fly from Republic Airport. We'll put 2 young aviators in each plane. We'll fly all the way to Brookhaven, land, hang out, take pictures, eat, and then we switch the kids over and we fly back.
Nice. That's commendable. That's commendable.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Word up.
Winston, you're doing this all year round, or it's like just a summer program for some of the kids?
All year round.
So all year round.
My July class, summer, I got the July class. September 19th, I'm starting the fall. Every season we do 20.
So
And
you fly? Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
What age? What ages are you starting them at?
14 through 19.
Okay.
So real quick, so then when you say do you fly them in bad weather when it's wintertime and stuff like that, or you just wait for clear days, don't you fly out?
So the colder it is, the better the plane performs, actually. So but if the weather is bad, meaning if it's really windy, I'm not going to take the kids up. If it's IFR, like instrument flight rules, I'm not going to take the kids up. I'm going to take it, the weather's going to be good when we go up because it's their first flight. So your first flight should be a nice, smooth flight. We're not going up there doing anything crazy. We might do formations with other planes flying together. Depending on the comfort level, we might do 45-degree steep turns, things like that. But for the most part, they are controlling the plane. They're taking off because taking off is easy, right? Anybody can do it. Landing might be the most challenging, but that's not even difficult. I'm telling you, for you guys, I take you up one time, you'll be like, oh, this is it.
Yeah. Well, can I go up and pretend to be Top Gun?
I'm doing this.
I want to be Maverick.
I want to go get a job at Spirit Airlines.
No, not me. Not me.
I wanted to ask this question, and it's really an unfair question, and I just was curious about it. And I know it's a little different, obviously, between helicopters and planes. But we lost, obviously, Kobe Bryant, who obviously everybody knows how great he was as far as his legacy is concerned. One thing that was reported was that the police helicopters had to come down, and this private helicopter stayed in the air, and obviously they had the accident. Are there certain, I guess, rules that I think you mentioned something a moment ago that tells pilots you shouldn't even take off, or if you are going to take off, they can actually just, I guess, maybe a tower or somebody can ground you? How does that work exactly?
No, listen, the guys in the control towers, some of them are not pilots, right? You're the pilot in command. They're not going to tell you can't take off. Your experience level means a lot, right? So if you experience to fly in inclement weather, like clouds the fog could be down to 50 feet above the ground. You can take off if you're trained and you know what you're doing. So everyone have their comfort level or their numbers, their standards, your personal goal, standards. But there's nothing to say, listen, you can't fly. They'll tell you the weather, you're in instrument flight rules of weather. The clouds is here. The winds are coming from here to this. They'll give you all the information you need for you to make the right decision depending on you. Now, things can change in the air, right? You can take off and it might be a clear day. And you fly to another airport, neighboring airport, and nobody can really predict the weather 100%, We can forecast weather all the time, but you might go into some inclement weather. I don't know the whole story about what happened with Kobe Bryant's helicopter, but I looked at it and I know they were in the clouds. It was at some point where they couldn't go directly to the airport. They was like in a hold, waiting to move. A lot of things was happening. So, if it's inclement weather, you just can't go, listen, I'm going to land at this airport. I'm coming in. Other planes are coming in. Everybody's in the traffic pattern. Everybody's, they might tell you to hold at this point for 20 minutes before you can come in. So a lot of things are going on. And I think he got, discombobulated. And, like I said, he was in the bad weather. And I think that's what happened with his plane.
Yeah.
So Phil, Jess, is there simulated flying during the 9-week session, 9-week training?
Yeah, so I have 6 simulators in this building. So we utilize the simulators probably at the, if I do the whole lesson, it's an hour and a half class. I'll probably leave like 20, 30 minutes at the end. You do some simulation. And then towards the end, we start getting a little bit more into the simulation. Most of the class is work. Like you need to know what's happening with that plane,
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a simulator.
Yeah. Winston, let me ask you a question. Is there a weight requirement for your plane?
Same question. I was about to ask the same
question.
Yeah,
it's like how much weight can you go up with or not go up with,
Yeah, so every plane, even JetBlue got a weight. They don't weigh you when you go to JetBlue, but you know they have an average weight that they use for every.
I'm talking about for your plane to go up with you.
I get to that. That. I'm curious. Do you know what's the average weight of a person?
No, I don't. I know it.
They say
how much is it?
170. But on my plane,
ain't nobody on this plane on this show going up.
None of us going
maybe in about a month D can go up, but we can't go up.
No, my plane takes a load of, depending, because gas weighs too. So if I got 4 tanks, right, my gas, I'll take 50 gallons of gas at 6 pounds a piece. That's 300 pounds right there, right? My plane takes 900, and you include gas with that. So if I got 4 tanks, I only can take 600 after that.
Okay.
Wow. And I'm like 270.
Okay.
Me and you, that's it.
That's ain't nobody getting up on that.
But you know, you can always, then I won't take 50 gallons. Because 50 gallons can take me 5 hours. I'm just flying around Long Island. Instead of 50, I can go down to half tanks, right? And now 300 pounds just came 150. Now I can take 750 and weight. So
that's one of the causes with the Leah thing, right? They were overweight when Leah's crashed a plane. Weight
and balance is really important, man. It changes everything with the aerodynamics of the plane.
Yeah, I remember when I was on a job, Winston. I went up in aviation in the helicopter, and they made sure that they asked me how much I weighed, and then they made sure that I sat behind a certain pilot because there was 2 pilots because they wanted the weight to be evenly distributed. I was a little nervous about that because I was the biggest guy on the plane, and I knew if something happened, I was going to splash more than everybody else, you know. But
gonna skip like a rock.
Yeah. No, but I do got another question, Winston. We know you do the kids, but do you do sessions for adults as well?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I got adult. I do adult lessons also.
Okay. And you have them in session, or those are just like one-on-one thing where they reach out to you and or you do group? Say again? That's one-on-one. Okay.
But what I want to do, and I've been trying to get this up and running, doing like a parent and a child together.
Father, that's cool.
Son, mother, daughter, father, daughter together in one class. But I've been trying to get that.
That would be nice, especially for a weekend like this weekend.
If I could drop 50 pounds, I might be the one right here, Winston. I get me and I could probably get one of my kids to definitely do it.
Yeah,
definitely. I got a variety of kids. One of them going to say, yeah.
Variety. Listen, let me ask you. I grew up in Massapequa, so right there in Farmingdale, I've been around Republic my entire life, and I know daily there's a lot of people that live in New York or live in Long Island. They fly to Boston every day. They fly to DC every day. Philly, Connecticut. When you're going, I guess in the tri-state, especially coming off the island, what is the most beautiful? Have you ever had a moment where you just got caught up with just the beauty of how scenic it was? Is it the Jones Beaches? Is it the Great South Bay? What is it when you're flying that kind of catches your attention, that gives you kind of that euphoric feeling, if any?
Well, night flying is the best, right? And doing the city tours, like the Hudson tours, like the dopest. You know what I'm saying? When you can fly from here, go over Coney Island, Jones Beach, Coney Island, go up over the Verrazano Bridge, down the Hudson to GWB, come back around, circle around, the Statue of Liberty, and come back. Like, that's the best tour.
That sounds hot. I didn't even think about the night flying. That sounds hot.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah,
that gotta be dope. That's what JFK. They didn't have enough classes with instruments, right? They were saying because he flew at night that he tried to fly, and that's what he, like you said before, he didn't understand what the horizon was and all stuff like that. That was the cause of his crash.
Absolutely.
Wow. Did he not have enough hours, or he never trained in it?
So he also, that was a new plane he was flying. So that was a twin engine. Mm-hmm. So he got a faster plane, right? And then you got a faster plane, you got less time. He probably fell behind the plane, like I said before, and he's in the clouds. That can do it,
Let me ask you a question, because somebody told me like heavier planes. Well, if somebody have engine trouble, they can't glide in the air long. Like you got single engine planes you fly. Single engine plane you can figure it out and work some things out a lot faster than a heavier plane, right? Like a 747, anything like that.
No, they'll glide too. I don't know the glide ratio, but they got, listen, their wings are bigger. They got more, the Benelli's principle, what we teach is greater. So they got some glide in space too. They're not just going straight down. For my plane, you know, if I'm 5,000 feet in the air, I can glide about 5 miles, easy. You know? So I'll find a place to land it.
Gotcha.
How impressed were you with Sully on the Hudson? How like, you know, I know it's a movie now, but the fact that actually happened, how a lot of pilots were impressed with it. Is that what did you think when that happened?
Yeah, that's dope, man. Like, listen, you gotta to put that plane down. Everything has to be perfect for what he did, and not just his flying. I'm talking weather, the waves, everything was perfect for him to land that plane. That's why I say it's a miracle, because anything would have been differently, that wouldn't have happened. It was just perfect. Everything was perfect for him to land that plane the way he landed.
Wow.
Do we still have a big geese problem out here now when you fly? Do you still see a lot? Is that, because I said that was because of his plane going down in time, right?
Yeah. Listen, birds everywhere, man. It's their air. You know what I'm saying? We just visitors, but they up there.
So
that's scary.
Have any of the kids ever got rattled while you was up in the air? And then how'd you handle it?
No, you know what? The kids, they confident with my skills. You know what I'm saying? They once they trust you, and they trust you. You know, and I'm not going to do anything to rattle a kid that make him feel like I'm never going up there again. That happened to my son. I'm pretty pissed about that.
But you could easily take over if somebody starts to panic, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Is motion sickness a problem for some people? You know.
Yeah, I got some bags in the back. You know what I'm saying? If they get a little, I got some bags in the back. Happened a couple of times.
Wow.
Man, when you land at these different airports, right? Do the people get shocked when you come out the plane?
Yeah.
See, like that? No, they just
welcome. Yeah, you just took my question, D. That was my next question.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. You didn't know.
I took two of the young guys. One morning we was like, "Yo, we're just gonna fly to Atlantic City just to hang out." One morning we flew to Atlantic City. We landed. Yo, all the time it was like, "Yo, we land our plane and the FBO, the Fixed Base Operation Base we was landing in. My plane was here. Jordan's plane was right next to mine. So the same way all the projects walk through, we walk through. Nice. So yeah, so always, man, it's dope.
Nice.
That is fly to just fly to Atlantic City like it's nothing. That's just, you know.
How long it takes
to traffic today?
How long it take you to get there? About 30 minutes or so?
Nah, my plane ain't that fast. That took me about an hour and change. Yeah.
Okay, so you cut it down by an hour and a half.
Yeah. You know what? You think about it, it's half the time of driving, I'll say, when it comes to this flying, because I'm only doing like 120, but I'm going direct. And I'm coming.
What was the question somebody had? I missed the question.
Yeah, we had a question from Juan. He says, have you ever instructed people during long distance flights, international flights? He also wishes you could send a super chat to us. But, thanks.
Nah, not with my plane is not for long distance. It's a trainer plane. Listen, the ceiling of my plane only go up 12,000 feet. 12,000 feet. So I'm not going that high. I'm not going that fast. I don't play around with international waters, because if you go down the water, forget about it. They'll never find you. So I stay pretty local. The furthest I ever flew on that plane was North Carolina. The furthest that plane ever flew was to Texas.
From New York?
Yeah. I bought the plane in Texas. A friend of mine flew it back from me.
Oh, so that smaller plane, you could fly on one tank to Texas by Midway?
No. He had to do a couple of stops. Like I said, 5 hours. But, we're flying 4 hours before we landed. We're not flying the whole 5, 4 hours we land and then go another 4.
How much is a gallon of jet fuel? I'm sorry. How much is a gallon of jet fuel? Because gas up for our cars. I know you got super unleaded. So
no, I got 100 low lead, and I pay. It's about $8 a gallon.
Oh, you like California? Okay.
Yeah.
Winston, I think it's important. I think it's important that you let people know that if they are afraid to go up, it don't make them no punk. I'm not talking about myself. I'm just talking about people in general.
No. It does make you a punk.
Yeah,
Winston, that's not what I was looking for. I thought you were going to go the other way.
Yo, you know, the thing is, I was thinking about what you were saying about when you said you landed in Atlantic City and everybody was looking at you. I would like to throw more of a curveball. Maybe we can go to Atlantic City with you. We'll put gold teeth on and some chains and do-rags, and that really will mess them up. You know? Kelvin, you gonna come? You sure?
Listen, I'm the one that's the punk that can't get up there. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Winston, you're a relatively young man, especially when it comes to flying. When you retire from the force, are you considering ever working for commercial or anything like that? Any interest in the big jets?
Nah. I think my passion is teaching, so I'm just going to expand on the aviation for us.
I'm glad to hear that too.
Yeah.
So,
hey, listen, Winston, anybody I can drive to Republic to take lessons, I will definitely, I'll definitely run it.
So Winston, so you're in the New York area, and like this go around. We got different people in different states looking at this. Are there a lot of aviation schools for people to go to that are regular? I know we got one over here. What's that one over there, LaGuardia? I can't think of the name. Vaughn College.
Okay.
Any other?
Oh yeah, Vaughn College.
Oh yeah. I thought they did fixing planes. I didn't know they did flying. I thought it was I don't know. Maybe he can answer it. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
So, there's a lot of flight schools all over the country.
Okay.
You just gotta be careful which way you go to. What's it's a lot of money to be made in flight school. So you just gotta make sure the person you pick or the school you pick, they have your best interest.
Okay. Well, Brent, brother, we love that you came on tonight, man. We truly appreciate what you're doing for everybody. Where can we find you at? Where can I find a school at? Or you have an Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff?
So Instagram, aviation for us _ right? My school is go to aviationforus.com and all the information is on there. But of course, I'm in Brooklyn on Liberty in Pennsylvania. It's 127 Pennsylvania Avenue. That's where I teach at. That's where the class is at. And if you go to Aviation for Us and someone want to register, they can go online and register on there.
Well, you right there in the hood, bro. You right in the hood. I'm gonna pull up on you for real.
We definitely got to sponsor somebody though. Definitely.
Yeah, we can do that. And then we'll talk off. But I got some ideas with my organization. I work for Good Shepherd. I got some ideas because we brought up flight classes because we talk about the job shortage. So we trying to work something out right now with I think it's JetBlue. So I definitely want to get in touch with you on some things.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me, fellas.
Thanks for coming on, brother.
Winston, anytime you need anything from Let's Chop It Up, you let us know.
Word up.
Yeah, that was dope. That was real dope.
That was dope.
Yo, I'm getting paid. You see that?
Yeah, we see that, Rob. We see that.
I know you see it. Yeah. You got to learn to read the fine print in your contract.
Yeah.
All right.
So before we go break, Juan, I know Juan asked, are we accepting super chats? Well, we're not at this time. We're not accepting super chats at this time. But thanks for always support, Juan. We truly appreciate you that you always come in, but we're not doing super chats right now, brother. And I think what else? Jamie, can you go to commercial break?
Orchard Blue Counseling Services, or known as OBS, is a private mental health practice based in Southeast Queens, New York. OBS's founder and holistic psychotherapist, Serene Prince, is a Queens native with Caribbean roots. Serene is committed to providing culturally competent holistic psychotherapy to diverse communities while curating a safe healing space for Black and Brown people with compassion and awareness of their total being. As experts in children and teens, we have curated a mental health and wellness community where children are heard, guided in developing a healthy self-esteem, supported in strengthening their inherited resilience, and learn skills to manage their emotions to develop positive relationships with parents, adults, and their peers. Orchard Blue Counseling Services is designed to help children and adults discover their inner healer as we take the journey with our clients to work towards self-acceptance, self-love, and resilience to manage life's uncertainties and embrace its wonders. Our private practice extends to providing consultant services for personal life transitions and business development, parenting guidance and support, and clinical supervision for mental health students and therapists. And be sure to book our founder, Serene Prince, as your next holistic speaker, offering your audience a life-changing experience. Now that you have taken the first step to learning about us, we invite you to walk towards a healing and progressive life with Orchard Blue Counseling Services. Contact us for your free consultation where applicable. Email or call us at info@orchardbluecounseling.com or area code 516-200-1174. You can also connect with us at our website and social media pages, orchardbluecounseling.com, or on Instagram at orchardblue_counseling SBCS, or Facebook at Orchard Blue Counseling.
Welcome back to Let's Chop It Up. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Like and subscribe. Tell a friend about Four Brothers on his YouTube channel. We want to thank again our brother Winston Faison for coming on today, man. Truly appreciate that, brother. Jamie, before we go to the rest of the show, can you bring up some comments for us, please? Oh, Dina had to go to bed. Yeah, Dina, shut up.
Dina said, I got to jump off and take care of baby girl. Hey, Dina. Happy Father's Day, Kings. Enjoy it.
Thank you, sister. We love you. We love you for that.
Thank you so much. We love you so much for that. Nixon Frederick. Hey, brothers. Thanks for putting this episode together. It was super informative. We're very pleased that we can help you out.
That's my mentee right there. That's a good kid right there, man.
Oh, Sophia Hilton, Alpha Aviation, young black male and female owners. Okay. All right. Hey, and that's my wonderful wife right there saying great information. Thank you, honey. You know,
and already he wants the big piece of chicken on Father's Day. He wants the big piece of chicken.
Absolutely. I got the big piece of salmon tonight too. Yeah, when I fry, it was my kind of fun. Yeah, it is. It's solely listen, my wife we eat that right up. So would I. That's always been my quiet little thing that I always wanted to do as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just fly planes. Yeah.
Yeah, Noretta's fearless. She don't care. She ain't afraid to get on no plane.
Nah,
you heard that? You heard that, Kelvin?
Yep, I hear it. Listen, I'm proud of her. Where else? I'm gonna go because I want to videotape y'all while you're up there. That'd be hot. That'd be hot.
Yeah. Talking about you looking up at the sky with just like a little dot, right? Yeah, I want to pull up. I want to pull up at somewhere and get out that plane, and all of us be acting like Little John, be like, yeah. Get off that plane. They be like, they done stole a plane.
Yeah, I got a guy met and we became friends. He flies private jets, and he said it'd be the craziest shit on private jets, bro.
Yeah, I can imagine. Great. I can imagine.
The drugs are insane.
I can imagine.
Sure. You know why? Because my people. Never mind. I'm sorry. I got lost. No, but that's excellent guess. Excellent guess. Yeah. And I love to see that. Love to see. And man, seems like he's just on point and such a great inspiration.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, don't get too crazy in there now.
Thank you for coming. Good night. God bless you. Good night. Go right upstairs.
Hey, brother. Put that work in, kid. Put that work in.
Let me ask you guys a question, man. Do you think parents are properly preparing their children for the future?
Ooh.
Go ahead, somebody.
I think the easiest answer is no, and I think there's a couple of reasons for that. First of all, a lot of parents are limited regarding the future. We're walking into a high technological era that a lot of parents were not trained for themselves. That's the first issue. Then socially, parents are different. Socially, parents were socialized different than kids are today. Kids meet online and have groups online and things like that are so different. But from maybe an economic standpoint and things, I think that's also tough as well, because you look at somebody like the baby boomers, their parents taught them how to save money. Now, parents should be teaching kids how to invest, but a lot of parents are in such a deficit, they don't have a chance because they're just trying to make ends meet. So I don't think realistically, especially in our community, that parents are necessarily preparing their kids for the future, because I think the future is something that has primarily been out of reach to so many parents.
Yeah. I saw this thing on social media where a brother was talking about the future, and he was talking about how his dad started off walking, and then his generation, he's driving a Benz. His son is now driving a Ferrari, and the generation will change, and then his sons will be walking after that. So the thing is, it's like Kelvin just said, we have to prepare our children for the future. And I don't think a lot in our community are preparing because we don't see what's coming. There is a huge change coming. You have to guide your children in a direction where they can get involved in something that they will be able to make money from, create a business, or be desirable to compete in a job market. You can't push your kids today now just go out and get a job. Those days are over. You can't do that. Technology is about to triple, automated robotics. It's a lot of things that's coming. Electric. If a guy was a mechanic for most of his life, things are getting ready to change for him going to electric cars. So there's a lot of things getting ready to happen that people are not aware of, and they're going to be left far behind.
You know what, Rodney? You made some really good points, especially regarding technology. But I think we also have to come to grips with the fact that there are only going to be X amount of skill slots available.
Right.
Listen, not everyone can be a roboticist or mechatronicist or you know what I'm saying, or a programmer. We can all go towards those same occupations. We're going to have to figure something else out. And how do we come and how do we talk to our children and manage expectations, our own first, all right, and then point them in a direction in which they can have some sort of outcome that is useful to the world, and also that they can put in effect in their life. I think we also have a thing going on where the children are being raised differently from us. This is the everybody gets a medal and an award generation. You know what I mean? They don't have, I feel like they're not being raised with realistic expectations of excellence. You have to go out and get it,
Right.
and not everybody wins an award. Not everybody's a winner. And, and when you couple that with the fact that I think that there also are some social skills lacking, because now, as you said before, everything's online. The face-to-face is lacking as well. I don't know really. I really don't know which direction it goes. Sophia Hilton says, "Isn't it said that this is the first time in history of this country where the children are not expected to do better than their parents?"
Correct.
That's what I mean about expectations. We may need to manage our own expectations. You know what I mean? It may be that the empire is in decline. You know what I mean? So it may be that we have to compete with some children and some other people across the world. Juan says, Sophia, yes, but in my opinion, it's because our children have been dumbed down in the school systems. Juan, that's one thing, but also there's also greater access to information
than ever
throughout
before.
The world. Yeah, throughout the world.
Before.
So now your children that you're raising now, it used to be that maybe my child was in competition with someone in his town or in New York for a job or for an opportunity. That same child is now in competition with somebody who doesn't even live in this country.
Yeah, but I know Juan's coming with that. I think he's saying because I've been in school so long, they don't teach you how to think. So one thing they teach you how to do now is how to pass these tests.
They teach you what
for what their greater good is, and that's just data.
Yeah, exactly.
So I understand where Juan's coming from. That when they're saying it's dumbed down, I know what you're saying too, Derik. Because I always tell kids now. Before I only competed for people maybe in the 50 states or your city. Now it's global. So now people working especially you get cheap in Taiwan, not Taiwan, Singapore and all these places, you get this cheap help, and they do the same work you want to do, and they can do it remotely. So
And that child over there is hungry, boy. You know what I mean? They are hungry.
I think has hurt us, Derik, as well. Is a lot of parents, and it's not necessarily done intentionally, have hurt their kids by giving them too much too early.
Right.
You know,
True.
These kids walk around and see somebody like rappers or ball players who are 20 years old that are multimillionaires that are driving certain things and buying certain things that we would have never, like when we were kids, like probably one of the richest entertainers in history at the time was maybe Johnny Carson. I looked at what Johnny Carson is worth when he died. It was something like $30 million. Somebody like LeBron got that in their sock drawer. These kids, this idea of trying to like build up to stuff, people want stuff now. Kids walk around with $700 belts, $1,300 phones, and things like that. The reality of it is, once you can't finance that, and you don't have a skill set to continue that type of lifestyle, there's a downward spiral that happens, and I think that's an issue. There's something like, if you think about the first car you had, think about when you had to earn something. Think about what your parents said. If you save half, I'll match it, or something like that. I don't think we do things like that, and I think across the board that has really hurt us.
Yeah, I think this generation, you hit a point there, Kelvin. I think this generation is on make money fast, spend money fast type of mentality. When we were raised to be savers, right, and to work. The thing is, the reason why this generation is not using their money properly is because they're being taught and they're being raised to have a lack of patience. The thing is, if say young brothers start a business, they're gonna start this business, and the business could be a really great idea. It could probably wind up making them a lot of money. But because they don't make $1 million in the first year, what are they gonna do? They're gonna kill the business. They're gonna say, we ain't doing it. We didn't make $1 million in the first year. That's not realistic. It's just like with investments. People think that they're going to get rich overnight. This cash cow is going to come running in just about a month. It's not. You have to sit on the average investment for like about 5 years or better. It's just like your house. When you bought your house 15 years ago and what you paid for it and what it's worth today, that's longevity. That's how investments work. And they want money fast and quick. And we as parents, we can't rely on the school system to teach our kids that. We have to teach our kids that ourselves.
Oh yeah, finances definitely need to be taught in the home. Financial literacy. Juan says our schools don't teach how to think, and they don't teach how to access the available information. My wife in checking in, she says we can only raise them as far as we can imagine and figure it out. We don't know what we don't know. We are living in a future that our parents couldn't have imagined when they were raising us, and our children will be living in whatever world we leave and they create. Yeah.
The thing is, I've always learned something with my kids. Right. This just to touch on something Norette said. There are things that I said to my kids that I thought went in one ear and out the other. But then as they got older, I see them applying it. So the thing is, keep feeding it, keep saying it, keep telling them. You'll be surprised how much you see later on that stuck to some of the stuff that you said. So me personally, I keep feeding it, I keep talking to them, I keep staring them in the right way. A lot of it is sticking more than we realize. They ain't gonna give you credit for it. They ain't give you no credit for it.
I fight you every step of the way as well.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, but you got to keep giving it to them. Absolutely.
Keep giving it to them.
What kids have to understand, and especially parents in our community, try to give them as much that they can go out there and compete with. I used to hear financial advisors say, Black parents will tell the kid to wait out in the lobby while they're doing business. I don't want them in my business and things like that. They need to know every single thing. They need to, I think maybe Rodney and I was talking about as far as maybe when somebody passes away or something like that, they need to know what to do. They need to know how to handle stuff. Because one day you got to pass the baton. I remember my father told me one time, he said, I rely on your youthfulness at this stage. When there was a time where he's like, look, I got to hand this to you because you're going to have to manage this stuff one day.
Correct.
And I think we all have to do that. What kids need to understand is your parents have a certain amount of wisdom. And if you can listen, humble yourself, listen and experience, humble yourself. Don't let the internet gas you up like everything is on Google. Some stuff is that seasoning. Some stuff is that going through it, because there's a lot of older people who have lived through a lot of these different financial downturns and things like that. You look at Black parents that came through the 40s and the 50s, how they stretched food, how they was able to make a turkey on Monday, and that thing became turkey salad and soup and everything else by Friday. You know, those are things that we have to remember. Some of those old habits and traits that were passed on, we need to make sure we can keep the ball rolling.
Hey man, have you seen inflation lately? You're gonna have to stretch some of that food right now too. You know, yeah, absolutely.
Well, speaking of somebody about to do a stretch, R. Kelly should get at least 25 years in prison. Prosecutors are saying, now that's a stretch. Somebody's gonna be stretching him out.
You know what? I'm gonna say, for the first time since all this started, and I watched the documentary and things like that, I had stopped listening to R. Kelly because of all this. And for the first time in years, I listened to R. Kelly today, and I have to say, first of all, any victim, that is the most important thing, that people's lives are ruined or hurt. And that is something that I don't take lightly at all. The other thing was, it's so sad. You can argue that this is one of the most talented musicians and entertainers of all time. And it's sad that whatever his sickness is or condition is, that has happened, because the man is truly a brilliant musician. And it's just really, really sad. There are no winners here. And if these young ladies' lives are destroyed, and I'm going on the basis that he was convicted because this is true, if that is the case, I think he does need to go for that long ride. But I just thought about it today, listening to one of his songs. I was like, it's sad that the world was robbed of this gift, and it's sad that these young ladies were robbed of what their pride and what was taken from them. So there are no winners here. But I understand that they're looking at 25 years. If you are north of 50 years of age, you don't have 25 years to just do behind bars. I mean, you know, I don't have 25 minutes to go to jail. You know, and so to actually just give up any of your freedom. I mean, we come from people who were oppressed unjustly, but to give up your freedom, especially to have that talent and be a multimillionaire and have that level of success, to allow it all to end because of a sickness that you should have got help for, or whatever the case was, I think it's sad. But yeah, I could go with the 25 years if you disrupted all these people's lives. People were ruined. You married girls that are 15 years old. In the case of Aaliyah, I guess at the time, allegedly. Yeah, I can see you doing that. I have no sympathy if you are an actual pedophile, and that's just, I have to be honest with you.
It said something. Yeah. Go ahead, Rodney. Go ahead.
You sure?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the thing is, I got a slightly different opinion on it. You know, everybody on the show knows I have kids, and I come from a different type of background that understands this stuff a little bit differently. See, we could talk about R. Kelly's talent and all that stuff and how much money he made. The thing is, that was R. Kelly's disguise. That's what he was disguised as, because he's a predator, a sociopath. That's what he's disguised as, a talented musician that is taking advantage of young freaking people. Me personally, I think he should get 25 years per victim. That's my personal opinion. This is not something that can be fixed. This is not something that's going to heal. R. Kelly is a predator, period. He can do 30 years, he can come out, and he's going to do it again. That don't go away. He's going to be doing some stuff in jail. That's how sick he is. Without a doubt.
That boy testified too, right?
He got a situation. That's why I'm saying he's going to do something in jail, because he's got a case with some boy too. So the thing is, this guy is, this is not rehabilitatable. Like, you can't fix this in a person. R. Kelly is a predator, and he needs to be put away, and he shouldn't be coming back out. That's just my personal opinion on it.
Now, here's my thing, Rodney. You're right. All of that, I agree. All right. But if he's a predator, all right, and that's his nature. Not if. He's a predator, and that's his nature. He is a predator. That is his nature. However, if he had never done it, he would never have went away. There was a mechanism, and as I understand, what got him this time was, they said that because of his net worth, of people, managers, and people that work with him, it amounted to a criminal enterprise. That's what he said in the article. A criminal enterprise.
Racketeering.
Racketeering. That's what he got caught up on. If that's the case, everybody attached to it needs to get some needs to get some time.
I agree.
Including relatives of those worlds. Because if you sent your child off to this man, all right, I need to understand if you knew, like you need to break down how you're separate from the organization itself, from the network itself. You know what I mean? Because if we're gonna put him on, and I think he should be put behind bars, but it was that mechanism that allowed all of that to happen. I think everybody attached to that.
I think with the parent though, the parent could say they didn't know it was gonna be like that. They could say, I mean, just let's think about it. The parent. That's how and also if you're the prosecutor in the feds, you don't want to make the parent feel like a victim too. If they are saying like I didn't know, and then you trying to come at the parent like they didn't know. Now everybody else, yeah, but they probably get the way the feds work. They come talking to everybody. They get ready, huh?
There was parents that took money.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't follow
yeah, they knew. They knew. They took money.
What Juan say?
Yeah, Juan says the managers, AR execs, and some of the victims' parents need to do the same amount of time as R. Kelly. In my opinion, all principals. Exactly. They got paid.
Okay. See, the reason why, there was a mechanism, Derik, you're 100% right. And he was the nucleus in the mechanism. So now the thing is, what indicates to me, right? Look how long. You hear that?
Yeah, I hear it.
Can you hear me?
Is everybody echoing or just Rodney? It's Kelvin. It was Kelvin. Kelvin was coming to chop ears. Go ahead, Rodney.
Well, anyhow, the thing is this: R. Kelly was the nucleus of this problem, and the thing is, R. Kelly has been doing this for a very, very long time, and he's been getting himself out of it up until now. The thing is, R. Kelly, when he went on with Gail and all that, and that performance that he put on, like I see that different. There's a guy right there that's never going to take accountability for what he's done. There are people.
You got some Trump in him.
Huh?
You got Trump in him.
Yeah, he got that Trump in him. He's not going to take no accountability. He's never going to own up to it. He's always going to be innocent. And that's what lets me know he's going to keep doing it. Because that is his disguise. I'm a victim here. What I do is okay. And what I'm doing to these girls and these boys and people, it's okay. I can do that because I'm R. Kelly. He's never going to stop doing it. Never stop doing it.
You got to put that dog down.
Yeah, you got to put that dog down.
So now, D, you were saying that they're offering. I mean, they're just going for 25. To Rodney makes a good point. I mean, you could just give them life. I mean, you're saying that just
the judge could actually give them more.
He can.
He can give more. The prosecutor's going for a 25, which R. Kelly did. How many times? How long you been in jail now? 4?
Yeah, I think it's like 4. And he's 55 years old. So if he does 25, would he be 80?
Now he's not going to do 25. He's going to give time served for the 4, so he's down to 21.
It's not enough time.
Then he get good time. He'll be home like 18 years.
Correct. 17 to 18 years. You're right. You're right. You're right, D.
Yeah, you got to do 85.
That's not enough time for me. That's not enough time.
Yeah,
that's not enough time. It's too many victims. Look how many victims. See, he's at a point now. He's trying to do a plea deal, but now he's doing a plea deal. A deal now based on because he's taking it all away and pretended to be innocent and taking advantage of people's ignorance. And now he wants to basically get a deal for it now because we're at our last straw.
And he's not at his first rodeo. That's true because I mean this was early 90s or late 90s when a lot of this surfaced, and he went the first time he went to trial, right? I don't remember exactly.
The family wound up going to South of France.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Took a check and left.
You can put allegedly out there.
But you make a good point about the parents because the one that he allegedly, according to Sparkle, that was her niece that he was on the tape with. And once she went to the niece's father about it, they swept it under the rug, and that father kept working for R. Kelly. Now explain that.
He does have state charges. Juan is right. Sorry, go ahead.
He's got to pay. He's got a point there. There's still more cases coming.
That's right. You're right, Juan. You're right.
4 federals and 2 states. Wow. Yeah.
You're right. I think
they should just do them on this one and just put it away. Just put them away.
See, Kelvin. That's what allegedly. That's not. As I understand it, that old case is not what's being tried now.
No,
You know what I'm saying? No. Right. So
I'm just saying the fact to Rodney's point that even if he got away with something, you can see he's just going to do it again. That's still a sickness, you know, and that's the reality because he's been through this before. Even after that case, it has always still been alleged that he was still doing it. I mean, you have girls held captive. If you watch that documentary, I mean, this guy is.
Has anyone figured out or heard how it got reported in the first place? How this whole thing opened up?
Because I think it started with the Aaliyah stuff, right?
No. We're not talking about the Aaliyah stuff because remember that was before.
You saying what made the damn break?
What was the break? What actually with the new case was
the documentary? That's what it was.
It was the documentary that got it rolling.
Yeah,
I think so. I think the documentary was what kind of opened up everybody's eyes. And after that, you're right, because those girls that were held, remember the girls were on Gayle King. They interviewed those girls because I think some parents were saying that the daughters were held captive. And then R. Kelly sent those girls out shopping to show, oh, they're not held captive. They're, you know, so he is the master, you know, the puppet master.
Yeah, he's the
manipulator. He know. And the thing, even with the Pied Piper of R&B, the Pied Piper supposedly led kids through music, or something, or whatever, leading people through music or something like that to their demise or something. Maybe it was the Rats or something,
playing like a flute or something, right?
Because I thought the girls were denying it, right? So I'm just interested to see how it actually got started. I mean, all right, a documentary, someone does a documentary, but how does that?
There was one woman that came forward, and she was the first on the documentary, but she was one that had done a series of interviews, and they started using her to kind of refute what those other girls were going through. And she kind of laid out how it works, that he literally would take a team, go to malls. And then you see R. Kelly walking through a mall. He had a team, and he would always get their numbers. You know, and he always was known to be at McDonald's all the time. He'd be where junior high school kids would hang out and stuff like that. And that girl was the first one that really was able to kind of say something that stuck.
So we had some comments that came in real quick. I'm gonna make sure we get to hit.
Yeah.
Sam, Jamie.
Juan says he met one of his victims during the original trial. Wow.
Right. A girl was outside with a sign supporting him.
She was a fan.
Right.
Wow. David says, R. Kelly got to go under the jail. Hopefully all those involved start getting fired and hit with serious charges. I hope so too, David. Monique says, I thought it started with his ex-wife. Let everyone know that that Kelly won't deal with his child who is transgender, but I could be wrong. Okay.
Allegedly. Now, what's that guy's name that killed himself? Supposedly had killed himself in jail.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Okay, you see Jeffrey Epstein's story, right? And he's part of what I'm trying to say about how they're going to keep doing it. Jeffrey Epstein had a case, wound up making a sweet deal where he didn't even go to jail the first time. He was basically confined to his home, and he still was traveling, and he still was doing it. Even though he had a deal of a lifetime, he still kept doing it. Yeah, because it's not something that you can stop doing. It is a sickness. He can't control himself.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. They all got to go for me, bro.
Yeah.
That one-stop shopping?
That's it, man. Put the dog down. Anyhow, man, let's think of some other ignorant shit here. Only
you can transition like that.
Yeah, only D.
Why you say everything? Montrell Harold faces felony drug charges. Got caught with like 300 pounds of weed or some crazy shit. Like he looked like he smoked weed.
It was that much? 300 pounds?
I don't know how much it was.
No. I think it was 3 pounds.
Yeah.
3 pounds. My bad. I made him into the cartel. My bad. 3 pounds of weed.
That motherfucker need a boat for that shit. He need to ship it in by boat. Now he had 3 pounds of weed. They hit him with a felony. He said he was drug trafficking. That ain't drug trafficking. He just had some weed. 3 pounds of weed.
3 pounds of weed.
Correct. And they said he was using it to distribute. That's not enough weed to distribute for a guy that has an entourage or whatever. 3 pounds of weed, they can smoke that up in a day.
He's a millionaire
You
already,
set up in
man.
the day.
Yeah, I think that was personal use.
Yeah, come on. This guy's 3 pounds of weed. Come on, ridiculous.
Yeah, he's
you know,
down
my friend's grandmother got 2 pounds of weed in the house right now. I mean, come on, that's not a lot of weed.
But you know what? I mean, when it comes to the judgment, though, you know, you put yourself in a situation and you again are an NBA player. And the thing that I don't know if you all read this, but this summer he's a free agent. So you don't have a contract this summer.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You start to fall not under contract. So, I mean, he's all right, but he's not a big enough player where the average GM will say, you know what, I need him. I mean, you know, you can put yourself in a situation where somebody's like, you know what, I don't have to offer him a deal.
So you think this was intentional? You think they laid for him on this, Kelvin?
No. But what I'm saying is even they wouldn't be able to do it to me because I wouldn't be trying to risk that. Right now, you know, usually when you in your walk year, that's when everybody tries to make sure that everything is right.
No, I get you.
You see what I'm saying? And you just so it the way I look at it, Rodney, if it costs you $1, if it costs you an endorsement deal, is it worth it? You got a house where you can do whatever you want in it, right? And I'm just saying, to me, you literally, and he would Jordan to cut him down there. Bobcats don't never do good. I mean, the Hornets don't never really do great. So you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, to me, you roll the dice and you bet on yourself and you bet wrong because right now, if you're a GM, can you go to your owner and be like, you know, let's just bring him in and give him whatever? You may or you may not. But as we know, every year that draft comes up, players are getting younger. There's somebody that wants your spot. I may not need the headache.
I don't know. Maybe at a discount, you know, you swing it, you know, he would kind of come in and says, listen, you know, 3 pounds, I think we can beat 3 pounds. You know what I'm saying? But now I need you at a discount.
I agree with Damien.
Yeah, he probably get the minimum offer to come off the bench. Exactly. You know what I mean?
The thing is, I agree with Damon too. It's going to probably lower his contract. I definitely see what Kelvin is saying. That basically, when you know you're in your last year, your contract, you should be walking on thin ice. You should be making sure you're covered. Now, the thing is, we do realize that more than half of the NBA smokes marijuana. We do realize that. Now, the problem that I got with this, right? You were an NBA player, and I'm pretty sure D is going to relate to this. You're an NBA player, right? You're worth millions of dollars. How are you getting caught with weed? You don't have no homies that can carry that weed for you.
Same thing.
I know you was thinking it. I know you're thinking like, how are you getting caught with weed?
Gonna get that weed, yo.
Okay, so Rodney, you know what D gonna say. So obviously, you know exactly what I'm gonna say. The natives. That's how. Yeah, because the natives.
The thing is too, and I'm gonna take it back a little bit.
Tiger Woods.
No, Michael Vick. Michael Vick is the story I'm going back to.
Oh yeah.
Michael Vick should have never went to jail, even though his cousin was the reason it told on him. But his cousin should have took that rap for him. He is the head of the body. He was the one that's the breadwinner. He's making all that money. I'm gonna tell you right now, if I'm the breadwinner and I'm the star and you guys are just regular guys, I gotta take care of you. One of y'all gotta take that fall for me. We can't just stop eating over this.
The only thing what Michael Vick said, he said, I didn't go to jail for the dog stuff. I went to jail for a violated probation.
Yeah.
Fucking smoke weed. He smoked weed, but it's really fucked up. I
didn't know that.
Yeah, he said, nah. He said, my wife told me not to smoke the weed, and my homeboy's like, they ain't gonna piss test you the first time, and they piss test him the first time, and that's what he went to jail for. So he said, but the thing go back to Rodney said, the house would have never been in my name. None of that shit, Michael Vick shit would have been. None of that would have been in my name. If I'm Harold, nobody, I'm not going to get weed, bro. You don't get the weed.
So technically,
that's old school. Yeah, that's old school player knowledge right there.
Weed technically is worth millions of dollars. It's worth because it costs you millions of dollars. Technically, it's worth it.
He could have made $1 million on that fucking 3 pounds.
But the thing that Rodney is saying makes sense. But Rodney is forgetting what Marlo said in The Wire. It's different when they get you in them rooms.
Yeah.
See, when they get you in the rooms, though, see, everybody, some new cousins gonna take your rap till they get in the rooms. That's the problem. But Rodney is right, actually.
Yeah, if one of his homeboys get caught with the 3 pounds of weed, he's probably getting out the same day.
Right.
You get caught with it, it makes the paper. It makes the news. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference. I'm not promoting people being criminals. I'm not doing that. But the thing is, there has to be a common sense thing with us. If a guy is the breadwinner, right? You got to protect the breadwinner. The breadwinner is going to get you the lawyer that's going to get you out.
Exactly.
You got to take the fall for this weed. I'm worth millions. You can't. Now, if the breadwinner leaves the guy out in the cold, that's a different story, which I don't think you should do
you
at all.
Tell him, write a book. You know what I mean?
But,
get your money that way.
That's just really how I see it, man. So, D, I'm expecting you to take the fall for me.
Nah. I ain't a native. I hang around native activity, but I ain't no native. Jamie said in the chat they should teach hood etiquette. And then we got some more comments real quick.
Yeah, we got some comments.
We didn't get to. I think Juan and Monique has something.
Juan says he said the same thing you said, Rod. If you're a breadwinner, I'm taking the fall for you, but don't forget about me when I go inside.
You're not supposed to. He's got to get you out.
Yeah, Monique says Vic was the first landlord to go to jail just for owning the house.
That's right.
Yo, you know what the best ride or die dude? I want y'all to think about this. He was white. Barry Bonds. That white man went to jail for Barry Bonds, goddammit. Remember the steroids? That white man did
Barry Bonds to this day, Barry Bonds swear on the grave he did not take steroids. My man is like, I got 37 years old and hit more home runs than anybody in history, especially myself when I was younger. It just
just ignore that my face swole up like a sleeve.
My hat size is 10 times bigger and everything like that.
I went from a 7.5 to an 8 and it fitted. Yeah.
But you know, the thing is this, I always try to say this, especially when I was raising my nieces and nephews. Risk reward. So if you come to me and say you have this moment of gratification, but you could lose millions of dollars in endorsements. I have to find the strength to go on. That's just it. It just doesn't work. It doesn't match up. And some people, they don't mind rolling the dice, you know, especially with ball players, because you got a finite amount of time to go get paid. You're trying to get from a rookie, you're trying to get to that second contract. Most people don't get the third contract.
Yeah, it was. I disagree. And Miguel Tejada be like, am I a joke to you? You know? Yeah. Jamie, check it out. It said leave bonds and loans is innocent until proven guilty.
Man, Barry Bonds guilty as a motherfucker.
Okay.
I'm a big baseball fan. Y'all know how much I love baseball. I do not recognize Barry Bonds.
He would have walked into the Hall of Fame.
Who's a home run leader for you, D?
Damon thinks Jay's innocent too.
Still, of all time, it's still Hank Aaron. I don't see Barry Bonds at all.
Watch out for my man Judge. Judge is creeping.
Yeah, I would be happy if Judge breaks the record for the year thing, but I don't think whatchamacallit. I will never see Barry Bonds ever in my life. Okay, real quick before we go, because we only got a few minutes. Geico ordered to pay $5.2 million to a woman who claims she caught an STD during sex in a car. For the car? I didn't read this article. I'm sorry, y'all. 5.2?
I'm still baffled by it. I'm still amazed by it.
For those of y'all that didn't read it, basically she was having sex with her ex-boyfriend, well now presently her ex-boyfriend, in his car. And she says that she contracted this STD during that session of sex with him in his car. So she sued him, and I guess she used his car insurance for the lawsuit, and they were ordered to pay $5.2 million for her getting this STD. Now, what this does in my opinion is, now if I'm in somebody's car and they fart and I get pink eye, I'm going to sue. I'm going to sue.
Oh, get an asthma attack.
Or catch an asthma attack. Or if I get a cough or I get real sick from a fart in your car, I'm going to sue you. So don't let me in your car.
Well, how can she prove that she got it from this dude in the car? Well, why we don't know she was fucking around?
I don't know. But supposedly they got to pay out. It's the craziest shit.
Dropped the ball on this one.
Yeah, it's the craziest shit that I ever heard in my life.
What if somebody, eats some Doritos in your car and they choke? Do they have a lawsuit? What if they was in a bed? Do you sue the bed company, the maker of the bed. I mean, I don't understand how it just did. I read it and it just didn't make any sense to me. But I'm talking about 5 point whatever. Man, there's people that have gotten car accidents and lost a limb. They get $5 million.
Well, they probably had to test the boyfriend. They probably test the boyfriend. And he probably had the STD. That's the only thing I could think of. But she could have gave it to him. Yeah, she could have gave it to him. So I can't figure it out.
Very good attorney.
Yeah, you must got to get what she got paid. That's a big fucking payday.
I think what's going to happen from here, they're going to have to put some sort of rider in Geico's.
They will. Insurance companies tie up loopholes.
They didn't have anything, so it allowed them to be.
That's going to be the first thing. First of all, no intercourse in cars. That's the first thing they're going to. No, I mean they got. They're going to put that in there.
Yeah.
So if I get crabs from a bed, I can sue the mattress company.
Or the hotel.
It sounds equal. It sounds equal. Well, it does sound like that.
I know for a lawsuit, you have to have damages, right? So my pink eye would be damages. Because if I go to the doctor and I accumulate a bill, or they have to remove my eye or something because it was burnt out from the fart, then yeah, I'm going to get paid. But the thing is, you have to have some sort of damage or injuries.
There we go. Nikisha dug in.
It says allegedly Geico didn't show up, and the judge awarded her the money because they didn't show up.
See,
but that still isn't. But then it went to an appellate court or something like that, didn't it?
But $5.2 million for that—that's still a tremendous amount of money.
Wow, that's a good legal team right there.
Right. Sammy, leave a couple more comments. I'm looking at the comments. We got no red. I want to see a couple more. That one Damien's funny too.
He says all puns intended, babe. LL can't perform backseat of my Jeep anymore. Damien coming through.
That was a good one. That was a real good one. That was a good one.
If I were Geico, I would appeal the arbitration ruling and have this case heard in the trial court. This arbitration ruling is way left field.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure that's probably on deck. If they're able to do it, it'll happen.
Yeah.
Why is she blaming? Why is she blaming herself for fucking Raw? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All right, I'm just saying.
There you go.
I'm about to read the next question.
Oh, we're so innocent now.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit, man.
You bet your Jeremy, you're gonna get sued. You're gonna get sued, Jeremy.
I can't allegedly. I'm sorry. Damn it, where's my damn next question at, Jeremy? I know you're gonna talk about Monique ass. Monique, is it too late for Monique to come back?
With me it is. I'm pretty much done with Monique. I'm done. You know what I realized? While Monique was away, I realized I was able to find the strength to go on. So with her, I don't ever remember saying during the pandemic, I need to hear Monique. So I think this last situation, sometimes you just get tired of it. In entertainment, they say you have a Q rating. To me, it would be as low as possible. I don't even remember the last time I saw Monique do something funny or stand up. I wasn't a big fan of the show on 11 or 9 or whatever it was, but she's running after the professor or whoever it was. I just don't see it.
I never watched it.
Yeah, and I think that Monique thinks of herself more than the rest of us do. I think she sees herself as a Dave Chappelle or Chris Rock or Eddie Murphy or someone of that ilk, and I don't see it. And it's unfair because a lot of female comics don't get the headlining or the top billing that they get. But when I think Monique, as a comic, you should think like laughter and euphoria. All I think is stress and aggravation and degradation. And so I think pretty much I don't care to really support any other projects Monique is doing. I think it's too far, especially what she did with D.L. Hughley's daughter. And I just think it was wrong. So I can't say I'm a fan or a supporter.
Yeah, I think she lost the PR war, is what I think. Because originally I still remember Monique, and I support the sister.
Derek, come up a little more to the mic.
I'm sorry. I still support the sister. I still appreciate her. It's a shame that it's not going. That she's not going to be remembered for who she was. And like you said, I understand where you're coming from, Kelvin. You don't think of her in a happy place. She's not in a happy place. But in her mind, she was fighting for something larger than herself. Now we can argue if that was about money or what have you. I think that they settled that case now with her and Netflix. That was the genesis of it. But no one ever remembers. At this point, it's like no one even remembers that it was originally about. You know what I mean? That it was her trying to get equal pay or trying to. She was acting like the bonnet girl she was getting on. Hey man, nobody remembers. Like I said, man, she's. I hope listen. I hope history is a little bit kinder to it. You know what I mean? But than it currently is. In the current,
It's that Oscar curse too. I think Lou Gossett Jr. said after Officer and Gentleman he couldn't get work, Will Smith slapped somebody. Nobody even remember him getting an Oscar, and Monique got an Oscar. It just seemed like it's the Oscar curse. And to be honest, look at Halle's career after the Oscar. I just don't know. It just don't seem like it works for us.
So was it black people with Oscar? Because the white people doing pretty well.
That's what I'm about to say. You are naming all black people.
Well, if the shoe fit, I mean, that's pretty much where we are. I mean, right now, they haven't gotten better.
Ain't no Oscar curse. That shit is racism. Ain't no Oscar curse.
But wait a minute. This is what she was alleging. You know what I'm saying? And this is what she's alleging.
Derek, I don't believe that whole thing about, if I took $500,000, Tiffany Haddish, what would she had to have accepted? I don't believe that. I'm going to be honest with you. Monique don't strike me as the type looking for the hole in the door for the people behind her. She just don't come across like that. See, I mean, I know she's saying that. If I took $500,000, what would they have had accepted? Monique, that's about it. Because if you did a Netflix show, I gotta admit, I probably wasn't gonna watch it, and that's what Netflix know. So I mean,
I can't say according to the judge, the judge itself did say that the original offer from Netflix was a bit low, in compared to some of the other offers that they had given as an initial offer. So it seemed like they were coming outside of their normal practices when they did step to her. Their argument was...
But that's what happens to us with Rodney all the time. Look at Rodney deal and our deal. All the time.
Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself.
The thing is,
I'm talking about for this side of the screen. My fault.
There's a reason this screen looks like a black and white cookie. It's intentional.
Like Jamie said, man. Jamie saying like, they all pick bad movies up there. Like Halle Berry picked Catwoman.
Yeah.
Lou Gossett Jr. was a alien that had a baby. What was that name?
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
Yeah.
That motherfucker was talking crazy.
Garbage movie.
Yeah. He's talking fucking crazy.
Dumb shit, man. So
you didn't even know it was Lou Gossett Jr. in that freaking suit. You couldn't even see him.
So I think you know what y'all saying. We never gonna get anywhere.
Okay,
as a people.
I'm gonna say something about Monique, right? Like, and I'm not saying this is. I'm just kind of like trying to play devil's advocate with this situation. Like, do you think like Monique kind of felt maybe like some of the people that she thought would be there for her wound up like shitting on her later on?
Yep.
And jumping ship on her, and now Monique might be severely scarred from this. You know what I'm saying? Now. Me, the DL Hughley thing, I thought that thing got really ugly because she went really private with him with something, and she attacked his manhood and called him a coward and all that. That shit was really deep. You know what I mean? And it was ferocious. It wasn't even vicious. That shit was ferocious.
It was wrong.
And but I don't think that she should be continuing these attacks like publicly with social media. I don't think it's going to help her career. I think it will hurt it more. But I will tell you this: Monique's following through her problems has grown tremendously. It has. She has found like this new audience for herself.
I don't think it was a new audience. I think it's her core audience becoming more vocal. She does have a core audience, man. You know what I'm saying? She was one of the queens of comedy, and she has a core audience. And it is what it is. And I think right now we're going through the first wave of the publicity, but eventually, her core audience is going to have its say too. And maybe we'll see how it goes later on. Yeah, we got some.
I wish the sister the best. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, I don't, if I don't hear back from Monique ever again, I'm good.
And opening.
I'm just saying, I'm good.
That's one thing about D. D get right to it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man, but I really don't give a fuck about Monique. I don't care if she tells another joke. I don't care if she whisper. I don't want to see Monique. She doesn't do it for me. I appreciate her impressions, and that's the last time I want to see her.
Did Monique do any nude scenes that you saw?
I would vomit in my mouth.
I'm about to get a nightmare. I'm about to have a nightmare.
I will vomit. Go ahead.
Oh, you got some cool. Oh, she said she's doing an audience in Raleigh, North Carolina, and have therapy on stage.
See,
yeah,
I rather if she did a new scene, I'd rather vomit with my mouth closed, laying on my back.
Oh shit! Yo, you got it.
Well, that's
my goodness.
Yeah. What do you got? 3 or 4 to get this show? 3 or 4?
Wow.
Anyhow, man, thanks for checking us on Let's Chop It Up, man. Thanks for liking. Please like and subscribe. See this Brothers on the Sport channel. We want to say peace, and peace.